Bring here. What is it now?
Want permission to shoot this pony, soldier. You and Wyatt Earp said we could shoot him if Mr. Earp failed to come with our money before sundown.
Sun not down yet. We Pawnees, we keep our word. Earp must keep his.
You shoot me, my friends will kill every Pawnee found off the reservation.
No. We wait till dark. If Earp not come by then, shoot him.
Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Following the Custer Battle in June of 1876, the Army organized a service of security and information. In frontier times, men used the term Secret Service. The main objective of Secret Service officers was to keep watch on the various Indian tribes to forestall an outbreak by angry red men, smoldering under the harsh injustices of the Indian agency system. As Marshal of Dodge City, Wyatt Earp found himself caught in a Cold War, which could at any time erupt in the shrieking of Indian rebels on the warpath.
Anna!
Well, they must have been Pawnees out of the Oklahoma Territory. They're pretty bad shots on horseback. Say, I thought that Brave Bull signed a treaty.
Well, he did, but he can't control Young Wolf. Say, isn't that a bunt line special?
That's right, Lieutenant. It is. Colt Factory had a few made up for Ned Buntline. Say, maybe you're thinking of getting a lot more of the Secret Service. It's a mighty fine gun, especially at long range. Of course, it's kind of hard to conceal.
Well, the Pawnees have just bought several hundred of these.
Oh, Colt only made a few.
That's right, sir. But some gun peddlers are making copies from the original bunt line. And when Young Wolf and his braves jumped the reservation, they met the gang peddling the imitation bunt lines. I thought maybe you'd like to help us track these counterfeiters down.
Well, you got any kind of a line on them?
No, sir. I plan to ride into the Nations and try to reach Brave Bull. He's still top boss of the Pawnees, and I don't think he approves of Young Wolf going on the warpath.
Oh, maybe.
Of course, I can't order you to come with me, but you are a Deputy United States Marshal, and you don't like the idea?
Lieutenant, how long have you been out of West Point?
Well, almost 3 years. Well, if you think I lack experience in Secret Service work...
You sure do. So do I, Lieutenant Clark. But what little I do know about the Oklahoma Territory isn't good. Now, if those were Pawnees that chased you into Dodge, I'm afraid you won't get past their scouts along the territorial border.
Now, that, sir, is a risk an Army officer must take.
Why don't you just stay here until I get a little further information on the whole thing?
Sorry to have bothered you. It would have been risky, Marshal Earp. Good day, sir.
He's gone. You can come in now. Mr. Cousin, you and Mr. Brother have been talking about my bunt line special.
We say bunt line shoot 300 yard. Kill coyote on run.
You say this to the Pawnee?
Not Pawnee, no. We say to Cheyenne in Peshwashka.
Yeah, well, you talk too much and in the wrong camp. Now, that young officer that your Pawnee brothers chased to make a joke may lose his scalp.
Pawnee not hurt him, Mr. Earp.
Yeah? Well, he's riding south to try and find Young Wolf.
Long Knife, ich hear Young Wolf.
Ik check my cousin, Young Wolf FBO Beniji.
Young Wolf by bunt line?
Yeah. Couple of hundred of them, according to Lieutenant Clark. Now, you see, that makes me responsible. I gotta try and find Young Wolf and the peddlers who sold him the guns.
Belinka, Wyatt Earp, ich hear Bialto Bacahitzo.
Young Wolf Reservation, Kochi FBO Beniji.
Young Wolf on warpath. He's got crazy boys with him.
Well, he jumped the reservation, but he's not on the warpath yet.
You sure?
Mr. Cousin, you and I have been friends too long to have any twisted talk. Now, you know that Young Wolf can't make a move without Brave Bull giving the word. If you and Mr. Brother are afraid of Young Wolf, I have to try and locate him myself.
Young Wolf Batman. I tell Mr. Earp the truth. We are afraid of him. But we are your friends. You not die alone, we die too.
Well, I'm not aiming to have any deaths in the family, Mr. Cousin. And I'll tell you something. I'm more scared of the United States Army than I am a young wolf.
Belinka Wyatt Earp long knife.
Push no higher, Mr. Earp. Push no higher.
You make joke.
No. The Army's got a new secret service. Scouts, spies. Brave but inexperienced young men who think that they can break up this gun-running business by, well, posing as traitors like Mr. Clark did. We'll trail Lieutenant Clark. He won't find young wolf, but young wolf will sure find him.
You Indian agent?
No, I'm a trader.
What you sell?
Guns, cartridges, whiskey.
You stand straight like pony soldier. Nojalo. Ring on finger. Where is ring?
I sold it.
Pony soldier officer. I have seen him wear ring like this. He is spy for army. Shoot him. White man, get off horse. Cheyenne, move back.
I'm Marshal Wyatt Earp of Dodge City. Mr. Cousin of Brave Bear. Mr. Brother of Yellow Hand.
No fight with Cheyenne. What you want?
I'm looking for bad white men who sold guns to certain Indians. Like this.
Take gun. Give here. Buntline Colt.
Oh, you recognize it, huh?
I see picture. White trader have picture.
Did you buy any?
No.
Young Wolf is lucky. Guns like that, no good.
Huh?
Cheap imitations. Bad men make to cheat Indian.
Why you bother me with this talk?
My Cheyenne friends will tell you I do not like white men who try to cheat Indian. Guns like that, no good. They blow up, kill Indian.
You lie. Our gun's as good as this. Our gun's better.
Fine. I'll have to try and find some bad bunt lines. Maybe the Osage were stupid and bought...
Liar. I show you. Monojo.
White trader cheat young wolf?
No. Bring cartridges. Nemo. Good guns. Good cartridges. Killed coyote at 300 yards. Open box.
Here.
Chakma, Ek be a noble, ik chakma.
You shoot gun.
Not in my hand. Give me some rawhide.
Here, Baha.
You play trick.
No, just trying to save you from getting your head blown off. You think the gun is so good, you try it.
No. You shoot gun.
Here.
The gunsmith who put this together didn't know how to ream the barrel into the frame. Maybe he didn't care. Maybe he wanted you and your men to get killed.
One bad gun. Rest are good.
All right. Let's try another one.
Manager.
Young Wolf, you make big talk about how good this gun is. This time you shoot.
No. You shoot.
No.
More Joe. Ule malay malo.
The cylinder arm didn't line up the chamber with the barrel. The bullet split and the side blast knocked the loading gate in your man's hand.
I will shoot you along with Pony Soldier.
Mr. Cousin, explain to young Wolf that shooting up people isn't going to help him get his money back from the men who cheated him.
Pelinka, Wyatt Earp. Atete pialta baka hayicho.
Hatak. Gokma. Hat Machalova.
Ik chakma.
Atete pialta baka hayicho na galing bakalo.
Attack. Ik chakma.
Howdy, Lieutenant.
You still have a gun? Why don't you do something?
Well, I tell you, I never did figure myself to be the equal of 12 Indians armed with Winchesters. You just take it easy. Maybe we can talk our way out of it.
I'm an officer of the 2nd Cavalry.
Yeah, it's a good outfit, too. Marse Robert Lee used to be its colonel. But as far as Young Wolf is concerned, you're just a pony soldier he caught spying on his camp.
Well, it's my duty to try to escape.
Yeah, well, not right now. Now, the Army can't use any dead officers, you know.
Mr. Brother say Young Wolf bow wow.
Fine. Lieutenant, they should have taught you something about Indians at West Point. As long as Indians talk, no shoot. And I happen to know Brave Bull. Didn't you trade some of his ponies for those fake bunt lines?
True.
Well, I'm offering to arrest the cheating peddlers and get your money back.
Nah.
Well, of course, maybe Brave Bull has changed. Maybe he doesn't mind being cheated.
Old Chief Ray's devil about this.
Well, then why don't you send for Brave Bull and let him say whether he wants to kill a couple of white men or whether he wants the price of his ponies?
I will send for Brave Bull. But you and Cheyenne and Pony Soldier are prisoners.
Fair enough. Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin will turn in their rifles. Here.
I forget about this gun. Why you not shoot me?
Because you get control of your temper? Talk like a sensible chief? Stay that way, Young Wolf.
There's your judge and jury, Marshal.
Keep underestimating Indians, Lieutenant.
You could have made a fight of it.
Oh, sure.
John Law, you come.
The marshal is right. White man named Gunham Dobie sells Young Wolf cheap guns.
Dobie. He sells farm equipment out of Dodge.
Also guns and whiskey. Brave Bull, old man. I tell my young braves stay on reservation.
We were wrong. If you arrest bad white men and give us back our money, we will return to my father's camp.
Good. It'll be done.
Wait. We hold him till sun go down second time. Pony soldiers angry at Young Wolf. They will not shoot while we have Army officer and Cheyenne scout.
You're giving me until day after tomorrow.
That is right.
Brave Bull, I will need Mr. Cousin and Mr. Brother.
Why?
They must try to buy guns from Mr. Dobie. That way we will have evidence to show our judge. Can can get into trouble leaving the officer here, Brave Bull. I wish that...
No! Officer, stay. Talk is finished.
You belong to Arapaho or Sioux?
We Cheyenne. 2 Moon sent us. 2 Moon Mark.
That's Cheyenne, all right. 2 Moon send you here on business?
2 Moon want to buy handgun. Bang, bang, bang. 6 times. Also want to buy Winchester.
How much money?
Yeah, you count.
Not enough. I've got a lot of guns to sell. I can't risk my neck on a piddling deal.
We get more. How much?
$5,000. That'll buy 100 guns, you tell 2 Moon. But he'll have to pick them up at stage stop 11, first north of Dodge.
We tell Chief. Be back tonight.
Through the back room. I'll show you.
Move along.
Get the money.
You're taking quite a chance, ain't you, boss?
It's our last deal. 2 Moon will pay $5,000. We make delivery, pocket the dough, then ride south.
Not into pony country, I hope.
You still don't get it, Pete. Indians never fire new guns until they meet the enemy.
Well, you steered us right so far.
Say, you better get started packing all the guns on hand. I promised those Cheyennes there'd be 100.
Butt-lines and Winchesters?
Yeah.
There's not more than 80, all told.
Well, that's near enough for them.
Now, as soon as Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin hand the marked money over to Gun and Dobie, we'll set fire to this shack here next to the warehouse. I figure Dobie and his boys will try to save those guns in the back room. That's where we'll take them, in the back room.
Well, there'll be a lot of people around there.
Yeah, hell, but I think they'll all be fighting the fire out here in the street, and any shooting will be done back here in the alley. We'll crash in the alley door.
Wyatt, this is Major Hendricks of the 2nd Cavalry.
Howdy.
Marshal Earp, where's Lieutenant Clark?
Well, Major, I had to leave him with Brave Bull as a hostage.
You did that.
That's right.
Then I'll have to arrest you, Marshal.
How many soldiers you bring with you?
I don't need soldiers. You're under arrest.
I'm sorry, sir. Take his gun.
You'll do time in federal prison for this, Earp.
Yeah, I may at that. I haven't got time to explain this whole thing to you or do it at the warehouse. I'll take him in the cell.
You sure you can pull this off, Wyatt?
Nothing's for certain, Mr. Kelly. Come on, let's get going.
Hal, you and Brick catch up with us.
We're supposed to come through the back room. Did you get 5,000?
Half. 2 Moon says he pay other half when you deliver guns.
All right. Count it out. 500. 700. Come on, hurry it up. We ain't got all night.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
The shack next door. I gotta save those guns. Clean out that safe. And you engines are gonna get it. Here we go.
patch him up. Take all the money out of the safe.
You dirty John Laws. You killed Louis.
I can't take chances winging him the way Wyatt does. Here, put the cuffs on. See you.
How much you figure?
Enough to buy many ponies. Out there in the head. Wyatt, you in there? Open up! What are you trying to do? Set the whole town on fire?
Fire's out, isn't it?
Well, almost, little thanks to you. Why, Mr. Doby, what you hurting about?
Peddling guns and whiskey.
All prisoners taken care of, Wyatt.
Good. Take him along. I gotta ride fast.
Oh, hold on. Where are you going?
To buy a man's life, if I get there in time.
Well, what about Major Hendricks?
I'll hold him for an hour or two and then let him go. Maybe he can try me for treason later.
Bring here. Tie the post.
What is this?
The sun is down, and Marshal Earp has not brought back our money.
No. Tell him to wait.
But the sun is down. Earp agreed if he didn't come.
Sun not all the way down. Tell him to wait.
Okay.
You're too much hurry to kill soldier. Marshal Earp say sunset. Sun all the way down.
We wait. When we kill Pony Soldier, we must all go on warpath.
Warpath. All Pawnee tribe.
Sun is down.
Tell him to shoot.
Okay.
Here's your money. Count it.
I guess I should make a speech of thanks.
Save it. Climb on your horse. I'll cover you. Go on.
You keep your word. We keep ours.
All right. But take your young men back to the reservation. Unless you do that, I'll be after you with many soldiers. If there has to be a fight, you will die first. And then Young Wolf.
No fight.
Good.
Send them away.
Hiya, hiya.
How much?
100 ponies, maybe more.
Pay me.
Mr. Earp? I've been a fool.
Yes, sir. But don't tell that to the Army. Never admit you're wrong, and you'll be a colonel someday.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Marshal Wyatt Earp could never complain that life in Dodge City in 1877 was boresome routine. Most of the shootings, however, occurred south of the deadline and involved shady people. But the alleged killing of Dan Bolton by Reb Thomas was a noted event on the right side of the tracks. Bolton was the town's leading cattle buyer, a man of wealth and influence. When Marshal Earp reached the scene...
Get out of here! Get out!
Nothing to be done?
No, sir, he's shot through the heart.
Dan Bolton, my friend.
This drunken fool?
It looks that way, Judge. Threatened Mr. Bolton at Dodge House Bar this afternoon.
He owes me $800. You miserable...
Take it easy, Judge. He was so drunk he didn't know what he was doing.
He'll know in court tomorrow morning.
I'll take him to jail out the back door.
Right. Cheated me out of $800.
You want me to tell Mr. Bolton's family?
Huh?
You want me to tell Mr. Bolton's family, sir?
No. I'll do that. Fine reward for being an honest businessman and a decent citizen.
I didn't hear about the trouble soon enough.
Not your fault.
Sober that drunk up. Get a confession. I'll attend to the rest.
Judge.
Yeah?
I don't blame you for feeling as you do. But you're still Circuit Judge Tobin.
A hoodlum kills my friend. And I'm supposed to pass sentence as though I never knew Dan. You're right. It was your duty to remind me. Thank you, Wyatt.
Ain't nothing like black coffee. Unless it's canned tomatoes. What was it you wanted to ask me about, Marshal?
Mr. Bolton is dead.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I'm sorry. He was no good cheating a liar.
You killed him. We found you in his office. This your gun?
Yeah, it's my Colt's Navy.
The gun was in your hand, the cylinder had been fired, and the bullet struck Mr. Bolton in the heart. Well?
Own up to it, Reb. Court will take it easier on you.
Oh, no, sir, I didn't kill him.
Go get a can of tomatoes.
Oh, no, Marshal, I'm sober enough. I aim to get my money or kill him. I'll own up to that, but... When I got up to Dan Bolton's office, I was so blamed drunk I could hardly walk. I guess I must have passed out.
You were wearing this. You remember that?
That's a Frontier coat.
Yeah.
It don't belong to me.
Well?
Mr. Thomas, I believe you know Judge Tobin. Are you going to still stick with that cock and bull story you use?
I told you the truth, Marshal. Dan Bolton deserved killing. If I'd done it, I'd own up to it. Another thing.
You folks have been praising up Bolton as a holy fellow when he weren't no such thing. I happen to know that...
That'll do. Put him in his cell.
Put me in his cell. That ain't going to change my opinion of Bolton, none.
Come on, Reb. Come on.
Sit down, Judge. Rest yourself. You've been through the ringer.
I promised Dan's family that justice would move quick.
Yes.
I'll appoint a lawyer to defend the man if he insists on pleading not guilty. How's our jury panel?
Well, we gotta get some more.
I'll do it tonight, will you, Wyatt? None but good men. I want a fair trial. An absolutely fair trial.
Evening, Mr. Morse.
Oh, hello, Wyatt.
Hey, were you, here when Reb Thomas had his quarrel with Mr. Dan Bolton in the bar?
No, but Kathy, Mrs. Morse was. Will she be needed as a witness?
No, I got plenty of witnesses. I'm kind of short on a jury, though. Let's see. Mr. Beasley, Mr. Summers, and Mr. David. They all live here, don't they?
Well, Mr. Beasley and Mr. David left yesterday for Topeka. I think you'll find Mr. Summers in the parlor.
Well, I'm going to be mighty short on a panel. Got 3 down sick and 5 out of town.
Well, Wyatt, I was just thinking, if you're short, you can put my name down.
That's mighty kind of you to offer, but tomorrow's your rush day, isn't it? And
It certainly is, Marshal. You and that conscience of yours, Heber.
The trial shouldn't take long, dear.
Oh, please, Marshal, you can find some other man.
All right, Mrs. Morse. Thanks just the same.
Always the easy mark. Can't you ever say no?
It's a citizen's duty, hon.
Why do they have to try Reb Thomas? He confessed, didn't he?
I forgot to ask.
You would. I'll ask him. Marshal Earp,
Yes, sir?
why are they holding a trial? Mr. Thomas confessed, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he claims he didn't do it. I'm afraid I'm going to have to put your husband's name down on the panel. Mr. Summers, he says that he'd vote to hang Mr. Thomas just on general principles. You have an open mind?
I think so, Wyatt. I'd vote according to the law and the evidence.
Good.
All this trouble about a worthless, drunken sot.
Well, he's entitled to a fair trial, Mrs. Morse. Good evening.
Just don't get to feeling sorry for that drunken killer.
But Kathy, hon.
This whole town is ready to lynch Thomas. Look, we're running a hotel here, and we can't afford to get public opinion down on us.
But Kathy, I don't understand.
I'm just trying to protect you from yourself. You're too good and kind. You always were.
Jury's still out.
Yeah, I know. Judge Tobin sent for me.
It's almost 5 hours. I wonder what can be hanging him up.
I don't know. Come on.
Come on, Morris, break down. You've held us here for 5 hours now. You know the man is guilty.
11 to 1 for conviction. Just tell us why you're acting so stubborn. Is Thomas a friend of yours?
I never spoke to the man except to order him out of the hotel.
Then what evidence has got you so convinced?
Thomas was so drunk, according to Wyatt's testimony, that he couldn't stand on his feet. I don't see how a man in that condition could fire a gun and hit Bolton in the heart.
The prosecutor had 3 witnesses on that point. They all said that Reb was a good shot, drunk or sober. And didn't you hear Doc McCarty testify that Bolton had been dead about 10 minutes? Reb passed out after he fired the shot.
I have a reasonable doubt in my mind that Reb fired the shot. I think someone else might have killed Bolton and put the gun in Reb's hand.
That was Reb's own gun. How did your imaginary killer get it?
He could have stolen the gun from Reb. And that might account for the fact that Reb took a Frontier Colt from the hotel rack. I'm never voting for conviction. You might as well report to Judge Tobin that we couldn't agree.
You think it won't get out that you and you alone hung up this jury? Morse, I'm warning you.
Take your hands off me. I don't care what you tell. I'm not going to vote to send a man to prison when I think he might be innocent.
We're wasting our time on this stubborn fool. Dave, call the bailiff.
No, maybe we'll get it.
In another trial for that scoundrel. More time and money wasted. Fine mess, Wyatt. One man, Heber Morse. Do you think he was bribed?
No, sir.
Well, what do you think?
I think the man has a reasonable doubt, and so do I.
What?
I don't think we gave ourselves enough time, Judge. Mr. Bolton was a friend of yours, and nobody can blame you for wanting quick justice, but I don't have that excuse. I went off half-cocked.
Are you out of your mind? The man's own lawyer begged him to plead guilty.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he didn't.
Why? Have you one shred of evidence? It's utter nonsense. Now, you get another jury and we'll try that hoodlum again tomorrow.
No, sir.
That's an order of the court, Wyatt.
All right. But I asked for a stay of execution. I think I know who did kill Bolton.
Oh, you do? And of course you can name him.
I think it was Heber Morse.
Morse? The man that hung up the jury?
That's right.
Oh, preposterous. What motive would he have?
Well, I don't know yet.
Morse hung the jury. By his vote, he could have convicted Thomas. Now, why didn't he do that and get off scot-free?
Maybe the man has a conscience. All I know for sure is that he volunteered for the panel and he was quite insistent about it.
You got Heber into this. Now you can just go and get him out.
Out of what?
Mr. Crandall fired him, and now they're threatening to run him out of town.
Where is he?
Oh, back at the hotel. I borrowed a gun, but he says he won't use it. Oh, hurry, Wyatt.
Now, calm yourself, Mrs. Morse.
Stay here, Mrs. Morse. There's trouble.
Mr. Morse, gonna have to arrest you, protective custody.
Now, you men go on about your business.
What side are you on, Judge? You know Morse hung our jury.
Maybe he was right. Any more demonstrations like this, arrest them all for contempt of court.
Yes, sir.
What did he mean Morse was right?
I can only guess. Come on.
Now, look here, Wyatt. You can't get back.
All right.
He's not going to get caught.
Mr. Morse?
Where's Kathy? She promised she'd wait here.
They won't harm your wife. Make yourself comfortable.
All I did was my duty as I saw it. Now I've lost my job and the whole town is sore at me.
They'll calm down a little while, and then I'll take you on back to the hotel.
I told Mrs. Morse to wait here.
It should be all right, Hal. Go bring in Reb. I want him to meet Mr. Morse.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Morse, Judge Tobin and I think that you might have prevented a miscarriage of justice.
Oh? It was someone else? Like I told the other jurors, someone might have stolen Thomas' gun, fired the shot, then put the gun in his hand.
It might have happened that way.
What are you trying to trick me to now, Marshal?
I want you to meet the man who voted against convicting him.
That's funny. I don't like you, and you don't like me. What are you up to, Morse?
I just wasn't convinced you did it.
The only thing I and you ever had in common is we both hated Dan Bolton.
Whatever gave you the idea I disliked Mr. Bolton?
You trying to act cute? You knew he was after your missus.
That's a lie. He called Bolton a cheat and couldn't prove it. Now he's attacking a dead man's morals, a respected church-going citizen.
Now, just take it easy. Go on, put him back in the cell.
Sure, put me back in my cell. You and Morse have to keep Bolton respectable. Dan was no angel. Wine and women. His case, it was mostly women.
You can prove that?
No, I can't prove it. I'm in jail. But it'd be easy enough for you to prove, Marshal. All you have to do is to check the Occidental Hotel register in Kansas City.
Well, you filthy mon-
Take him out! Then ask Mrs. Bolton if she was ever in Kansas City with Dan.
Just relax, Mr. Morse.
You You aren't taking his word for anything.
No. I don't think Reb is too careful of the truth. I think that what Judge Tobin told those hotheads is probably sunk in by now. Come on, I'll take you back to the hotel.
Kathy, everything's all right. Wyatt's with me.
Oh, just a moment, Heber. Oh, I got so scared I blocked the door. I'll have it open in just 2 seconds. Oh, I'm so glad Marshal Earp came with you. Oh, darling.
No. I told you it'd work out all right.
I know, but I just can't wait to get away from this town. Oh, hello, Wyatt. I hope you'll excuse the looks of things.
I'll even excuse you taking the gun.
Gun? What gun?
Colts Navy 36 caliber, belonged to Reb Thomas. It's now Exhibit A, state's evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do, Mrs. Morris. Now, you gonna give me that gun, or do I have to get a search warrant?
You go get the warrant.
No, Kathy. I've had this whole thing on my conscience too long. Give Wyatt the gun.
Don't be a weak, silly fool.
Not this time. Where is it?
Heber, no! Heber, please!
I killed Bolton.
It's not true, Wyatt.
I'd rather listen to you. Now, let's get this straightened out with the judge.
There's nothing to straighten out. I killed Bolton. My wife wasn't involved.
Mrs. Morris, I think you have something you want to tell Judge Tobin and me.
Yes, I do. Does Heber have to be there?
No, he can wait outside the jail.
Why does Kathy have to be mixed up in this? I was Bolton's silent partner in cattle deals. When he wouldn't pay up, I killed him.
It's very possible, Mr. Morris.
Dan's wife was ill. He promised if I got a divorce, he'd marry me. I knew my husband would go on being manager of cheap hotels in little towns. But my husband loved me. There's no excuse. No pardon for what I did. And when that one miserable affair was ended, I hated Dan. I despised myself. I realized how kind and decent my husband was.
You say that yesterday Mr. Bolton demanded you make another trip with him.
Yes. I was sitting at the desk, doing my work, and suddenly he came in. What's wrong now, Heber?
Not a thing, honey.
Oh, it's you. How many times do I have to tell you not to bother me
2
here?
tickets for New York and $1,000 for fun.
Get out.
Oh, no, I really mean it this time. Look, I'm going to tell Amy about us. Let her divorce me. I said I really meant it, Kathy. I'll be at my office about 9 o'clock tonight. You be there, huh? Ready to travel. Or else...
Else what?
A certain husband will be getting a divorce.
Pick him up and get out.
Now, you pick him up. Bring him along tonight. I really mean it, Kathy.
I decided I'd have to settle with Dan. Once and for all. But I wanted to keep my husband's love. That afternoon, when Reb Thomas had his drunken set to with Dan at the bar, I knew I had to find a way to get to him.
Well, I don't know why he wants to do that. I'm a nice guy.
We'll take it later.
No, we're not going to. I'm going
Right
to.
now, come on. I know.
Yeah, all right. Now, you heard what I said. Either he pays me or I'll take it out of his hide with bullet holes.
We gotta find a good way to do it, though, Red, so we don't land in jail.
All right. Paul, anything you say.
Hey, give me your gun belt.
Huh?
Come on, give me your gun belt.
All right. Why do you want a gun belt?
I want to hang it up here so Wyatt Earp can't jump you.
Oh, yeah. Good. Take care of that gun now. Be careful.
I won't put a scratch on it, Red.
All right.
Come on, let's go over to the Long Branch Saloon, get another drink.
Long Branch?
Yeah, come on. Let's go.
Okay, let's get some more.
Long Branch, here we come.
He couldn't find his own gun belt, so he took another one. He didn't wait to buckle it on. He just went lurching out into the street. But something told me he was on his way to shoot Dan.
Why didn't you just let him do the job?
I was afraid that he was too drunk, or that Dan might shoot him. I remembered Dan always kept his office door locked. So as soon as my husband came back from the depot, I slipped out the back door and I made my way down to Dan's office.
Hello? Where's your luggage, honey? My, a gun. Put that thing away. Have a chair. We've got lots to talk about.
No. I'm not going with you. I came here to say that if you tell my husband, I'll use this.
You're going with me, Kathy. Again.
I tried to run, then I heard someone outside. I hurried to the curtains to hide behind them. I'd almost forgotten Reb Thomas.
You dirty cheating louse! Wake up! Bolton! Wake up and tell you like a man!
That's the whole truth, Judge. I ask only one thing. Does my husband have to know? Can't you just send me to prison?
Mrs. Morse, I couldn't send you anywhere.
What do you mean?
I couldn't accept a plea of guilty, knowing that if you went on trial, no jury would convict you. Besides, Mr. Bolton left a widow, family, friends. In attempting to punish you, which I couldn't do anyway, I'd be punishing many innocent people.
Are you going to tell my husband?
Mr. Morris knows about it.
How could he?
Well, he worked pretty hard to get on that jury. His trouble is that couldn't let an innocent man hang. Mrs. Morse, you go out there and tell him the case has been dropped. You really believe in the unwritten law, Judge?
No. But in her case, what can justice and the Lord ask of a human soul except that it turn from wickedness and sin no more? She's been punished.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail, and none can deny it. The legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The story of Susan Leonard, a child known as Little Pistol, is part of the legend of Western folklore. Except for the intervention of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, Susan might have vanished into a nameless grave. As it happened, Little Pistol became the central character of an episode which started tongues wagging from Dodge to the New Mexico border. Gossip established Susan Leonard as the first female outlaw in the Western country. But the truth about Little Pistol, as truth often turns out to be, was stranger than any fiction. Thank you. Well, some favor prairie chicken, but give me bob white quail and toast. It's a handsome spread, Miss Kate.
Thanks, Wyatt. John, dear, you need good, nourishing food.
Oh, I have it, Katie. The very essence of corn dissolved in alcohol.
They're robbing my place. Where's my gun?
Shoot, Wyatt, shoot! Oh, there are too many people.
Wyatt! John! The dinner!
You're talking of dinner when I'm being robbed? The door's clean. How much was in it?
About 20,000, Doc.
All right, this one's dead. Take him over to Doc McCarty.
Come on.
Did you recognize any of them?
No, Marshal. They had masks on with eye holes cutting them.
Quit jabbering, Wyatt. They haven't got much of a start. We can catch them.
Take care of the body.
Okay, fellas, let's go.
Over there.
Must be them. $20,000 in my best faro dealer.
Wait a minute, Doc. I know how you feel. Let's not rush into things.
Wyatt, this isn't John Law business. It's personal.
And what about your horse? Old local enjoys living, you know. Let's make this fight on foot.
Why do you always have to be right? It ain't your money. It ain't your best faro dealer. You can afford to remain calm, cool, and collected. All right, General Custer. I await your orders.
Yeah. We can't cut them off from running, but we can try not flank them. I hope they're cooking breakfast. Come on.
Flash him! Give me that.
Doc, give me a hand. That's a girl. Take her coat off. Her arms hurt.
Stand still, you little brat. Put your arm down.
Now, stand still, honey.
Well,
Stand
down.
still. We're not going to hurt you. Now, just stand still. Yeah. The bullet just nicked it. Give me this. Now, what's your name, sis?
Little Pistol.
He means your real name.
Won't tell you
Now, just take it easy, honey.
You
Just
little
take it
brat,
easy.
you ought to have a spanking.
You give me back my pistol.
Wait till I get your bandage tied.
We're wasting time, Wyatt. We could overtake those fellas.
Not in Bushwhacker, and I want to ask her a few questions.
I want my pistol. You give me back my pistol.
All right.
Hey, you're unloading it.
What did you expect them to do? Let you shoot us? You take a Wyatt. I'm going after my money.
Wait a minute, Doc. Here. Now, look, there's no sense in cold trailing it alone. Besides, I think she'll talk.
The little wildcat. Stop that! Wyatt, she took those cartridges from the pocket. Hold still, you little brat. We better take all the clues off.
No, I'll just take her gun. Now, you had your chance to behave.
I hate you. I'll show you both.
She ought to have her britches warmed.
All right, you spank her.
No, you do it. I'm so mad I might raise blisters.
You must be hungry. Come on.
Where?
Dodge City.
No.
All right, suit yourself.
I want my pistol. You give me back my pistol.
You stop that. Now, next time you touch that gun, I'm going to drop you off and leave you right here.
Wasn't touching it.
Yes, you were. Little girls like you got no business with guns. You got nothing to be afraid of.
Not afraid.
Well, everybody's scared of something.
Are you really Wyatt Earp? And is he really Doc Holliday?
That's right.
You're fast guns.
Oh. Now, who told you that?
They... Nobody.
Who's they?
Not nobody.
All right.
I told you to shoot her, Rocky.
It's too hot in there, boss. I did take a crack at her, but I guess I missed.
Well, I don't think she'll talk, but she might. We'll have to ride back into Dodge tonight.
Now scrub hard, child. Then we'll get dressed in these nice, clean clothes. Isn't this a pretty dress?
No, I want my old clothes.
Oh, no, you don't. They're filthy. Wyatt will like you much better in decent little girl's clothes. He likes you. Don't you like him?
No, he took my gun.
Oh, little girls don't go around carrying guns and trying to shoot people. Now, come on. We'll get all nice and dry.
If I wear the clothes, can I go see Mr. Earp?
No, Wyatt is too busy in his office.
Then I'll tear up the clothes. I'll tear this dress right now.
No. Oh, all right. You can see Wyatt.
Well, put your mind to it, Doc. You used to handle kids when you were practicing dentistry. How did you, how did you gain their confidence?
I didn't. I used to have their parents hold them while I shoved a wooden block in their mouth so they wouldn't bite. Then I yanked the tooth.
Yeah, well, that's no good.
Why, you labor the obvious. Maybe our little pistol belonged to one of the gang. Maybe she was kidnapped. At any rate, we've got a scared youngster on our hands.
Yeah, well, we still got to try and gain her confidence and make her talk. You know, she probably could name every man in that bunch if she wanted to.
Perhaps they'll come back for her. Why, she's a deadly witness. Maybe they'll kidnap her or even kill her.
You say that mighty offhanded.
I don't expend sentiment I can't afford, Marshal. If we had left her like I wanted to do, we could have caught up with those hoodlums. Now where are we? Or to put it bluntly, where's my money? You cherish little pistol. I don't like brats.
You go away. I came to see Mr. Earp. How can he be be such a fast gun if he drinks so much.
Well, liquor doesn't seem to affect him. Say, what a pretty little gal. Yeah, new clothes, huh?
Stop it. I want my gun and I want the bullets.
Oh, well, then you're going to have to trade.
For what?
Well, you answer some questions, and I'll return the gun.
What questions?
Well, to start with, what's your name?
I told you. It's Little Pistol.
Well, you have another name.
No, just Little Pistol.
All right, then who were those men you were with out there?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
They get me.
Doc Holliday and I guarding you day and night?
That's pretty fast. They'll come at night, and you won't be around.
Well, and you can stay here with me during the day, and then at night you can stay with Dr. and Mrs. Holliday.
No, I want to stay with you all the time. I don't like Mrs. Holliday. She talks too much. She reminds me of my... Can I stay with you, Mr. Earp, all the time?
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I'll move in with Dr. and Mrs. Holliday, and then you can stay with all of us. How about that?
No, you just want me to tell. Then you'll send me to the orphan's home or someplace.
Orphan's home? Say, your folks...
You're not going to get me to
wait,
talk?
wait a minute. Now, look, I've got to catch those outlaws and put them in jail, and then they won't bother you, understand? But in order for me to catch them and put them in jail, you got to tell me who they are. You understand that?
Well, I'll think about it.
Good. Now, I got to go out there on patrol, and you can walk right along with me.
I'll tell you one name. Susan.
Susan? Well, now, who's that?
That's me.
Susan, huh? Well, I like Susan. That's a mighty pretty name. Thank you.
You better not try it. It's a little too risky. We'll camp outside Dodge and try again tomorrow.
Well, I didn't spot any strangers around.
Why don't you turn in on the sofa?
You take a rest.
I don't sleep much. And if I doze off, Kid, he'll spell me.
They're not likely to come around here.
Mommy. Daddy. Where are you? Indians. Apaches. Don't kill me. Please. Oh, don't kill me.
Now, you'll be all right, sis.
Take it easy, darling. Just lay back down. Doc and I...
Joe, what is it?
Just take it easy.
Kid had a nightmare.
That's it, Doc.
Oh, poor
Just
baby.
relax, honey. Nothing's gonna
Perhaps
happen.
if we gave her a little soothing syrup.
My tooth. It aches. It aches awful. Right here.
I'll have a look. Kitty, bring that lamp down.
No, it'll hurt worse.
Wyatt, you better hold her.
Yeah.
Now, open your mouth wide, honey. I want to get a look.
No, I want Mr. Earp to look.
All right, honey. You come up here and open your mouth real wide, and I'll take a look, huh? That's it. Ooh, say.
You're a good girl, sis. You can close your mouth now.
It still hurts.
All right, Mrs. Holliday will give you some medicine. Come on, Wyatt. You go to sleep, honey.
Where are you going?
Outside in the hall. We'll leave the door open.
Be right back.
Pain will be gone quicker than a wink, dear. You see, I'll pour a teaspoonful of this, then you gulp it right down.
She's got a couple of impacted right upper molars. Wyatt, would you be kind enough to ask Doc McCarty if he's got any nitrous oxide?
Nitrous oxide?
There. Now drink some water, honey.
McCarty will know what it is. Did you ever hear a woman talk so much?
Hey, are you sure this new gas thingamajig is safe?
I didn't give her much. It's to start her talking, the main idea.
Nitrous oxide does that?
Sometimes. Occasionally it makes them giggle or talk silly.
Well, you take a rest, Doc. Miss Kate and I'll watch her.
All right, Wyatt.
Shoot.
Yes, baby. Wyatt. Wyatt. I think she's coming out of it.
Don't shoot at them. Wait. The soldiers. Yes. I'll run and hide. In the barn, Mommy. I'll stay there until...
Susie. Susie. What happened after you hid in the barn?
Barn? I didn't stay there. I got scared. Apaches all around the house. I ran into the bushes. They caught me. One-Eye Milburn. One-Eye Milburn. They gave me to One-Eye Milburn. Don't kill me. Please, don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Susan. Susan, honey, wake up.
I'm awake, Mr.
Now, what's your name?
Susan Leonard.
And where do you live?
Copper Spring. It's in New Mexico. I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepyhead.
Here you are. That's it.
Is that the truth? Or just babbling?
Well, I think it's the truth. Look, if she wakes up again, you call Doc. I'm going to go to the telegraph office.
They're all mixed up at that Santa Fe depot. You wired that fort in New Mexico. This comes from Prescott, Arizona.
Well, Army commands move around, Hal. Apache attack at Copper Springs. One-Eye Milburn believed to have ridden with Indians. You stay here and watch the office. I'll be over at the Dodge House. Right. Well, how's the little patient this morning, huh?
Pulse normal, Wyatt.
I'm mad at you. Why didn't you stay here all night like you promised?
Well, there were big doings last night, Susan. Don't you remember?
Yeah, Doc Holliday pulled out 2 of my teeth. See?
Hey. Oh, those are mighty horrible-looking wounds. Does it hurt, huh? What?
I'm in agony.
Oh.
Now, Susan.
Come on, eat all your oatmeal.
Ow!
Katie, I said lukewarm.
She burned me.
You're all going to cool it. Shall I put it in the icebox, John?
Katie, all you have to do is pour cold milk on it. Now get that maid up here. This place looks like a pig pen.
Right away.
Wyatt? Katie said that Susan got caught in an Indian fight.
Oh, yeah, she did a lot of talking.
Who talked?
You did?
I did not. I don't remember saying one word.
Yeah, well, I remember. Let's see, you're Susan Leonard, and you're from Copper Springs, New Mexico.
I told you that?
Yep. You also told me that the Apaches captured you and turned you over to a white renegade by the name of One-Eyed Milburn.
It's all a lie. A big lie.
I think Milburn's our man. But what I can't figure out is why I'd want to keep Susan alive. You want to tell us that?
The other men wouldn't let... I'm not talking.
Wyatt, did you check this out with the Army?
Yeah, there was an Apache attack in Copper Springs, all right. Milburn is believed to have ridden with the Indians.
Any line on where he might be?
No, but I'm going to wire all the sheriffs between here and the New Mexico line. Susie, did One-Eye Milburn wear a patch over his eye?
I won't tell you nothing.
All right, then let's make a deal. You describe Mr. Milburn and all his men, and I'll give you back your gun.
No.
Maybe we ought to give Susan some more gas.
I think it'll be a very good idea.
You, Wyatt, that stuff is dangerous. Have you no pity in your heart for this child?
None at all. It wouldn't work a second time, Wyatt.
They want me to depend on them.
Oh, my poor baby.
Oh, Katie in a maternal mood. Wyatt, let's do our detective work at the bar.
You drink too much. And you're nothing but a big old John Law trying to get me in trouble.
That's right, dear. Don't trust any man.
Now, wait a minute. I tried to
Wyatt,
explain this.
Don't apologize. You're nothing but a sassy little snip. And Kate, you're nothing but a sentimental idiot. Come on, Wyatt.
I see through you both now. Miss Kate is my only friend.
Now remember, we ride straight up to the hotel. Rocky and me'll go inside and attend to the kid. And we'll blast our way out if we have to.
I don't like it, boss. Earp and Holiday can do some blasting, too.
Well, that's fine with me if you want to go on the run with a murder and a kidnapping charge against us. That kid's the only one that can identify us. I wanted to do the smart thing days ago and get rid of her. Let you talk me out of it. Now, all in favor of taking my advice, say so.
How about
it, boys? Let's go.
All right.
I'm a mite worried.
Well, there's no need to be. Milburn's easy to spot. I spread this telegram around while there'll be a posse and soldiers on his tail.
It's not Milburn. It's Katie. She wants to adopt Susan.
What?
Impudent, sassy little brat. I'd spank her 3 times a day if I had to go to court for it. Besides, there's the element of contagion.
Yeah.
Wyatt, I'm going to put my foot down hard with Katie. I want you to back me up.
All right. There's some doubt that Susan's an orphan.
What?
Well, the Apaches attacked the settlement. Her mommy and daddy sent her into the barn to hide, but she ran off in the brush somewhere. It's just possible that...
Nonsense. They're dead. Both of them. Now, don't you go upsetting Katie with that kind of talk, Wyatt.
Look, I just thought you said...
I said it, and I mean every word of it.
This Kate shouldn't go getting her heart set.
Wyatt, it's her heart. It's not yours. Now, where you going?
To the telegraph office. You take care of Susan, Papa Holiday.
Howdy. You got a little girl about 10 years old living here? You're lying.
He's lying, Melvin.
Hey, it's the kid. Let's get her, boys.
Not Susie. Doc Holliday and I dropped him all over the street.
Is One-Eye dead?
Well, if he's not, he's sure going to wish he was. And this telegram just came. Looks like your prayers have been answered.
Mommy, Daddy alive. But I didn't pray for it. I guess I'm wicked. I was sure I'd never see Mommy and Daddy again. So I prayed for something else.
Oh? What was that?
Well, I prayed that you'd give me back my gun. Then I prayed that I'd grow up and be one of your deputies and live with you. Is that awful wicked?
Well, Susie, an arrangement like that can be sinful. But the good Lord saved you.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The notorious Dr. John H. Holliday had a running feud with Dodge City. In fact, Doc had a running feud with the world and life itself. The only man to whom he acknowledged the slightest loyalty was Wyatt Earp. But when Holliday decided to back Milton Jeannie Durkin in a dispute with some very tough men, it appeared that Doc and Wyatt would clash in a stand-up gunfight.
Oh, Rosie. There you are, boss. Let me handle it.
You Milt Durkin? That's my name. Well, I own the Pat Dunn Freight Lines. This wagon trail is a public road. And we need this oily puddle to grease our axles. To go around it, it'd be 3 miles through the brush.
Here's my homestead map. That is the survey cornerstone. See for yourself.
Dr. Holliday says we have a right to defend our property.
Doc could tell you anything, sis. He probably drew this map.
It's governmental survey.
Well, you write Washington about it. My wagon is going through.
No. We give you fair warning.
Give me them wire cutters.
They got a gun, boss.
Go back in the house.
No.
Put down that rifle, Sonny. We don't want to hurt your wife.
That's far enough. Halt.
Halt!
Howdy, Mr. Dunn. I asked Mr. Durkin not to block the trail. They're just young greeners. You let me talk to them.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, folks, but what I said to you the other day just makes sense. Freighters have always used that grease puddle. Besides, it's an awful long way around.
But it's our land, and Dr. Holliday says it's worth a fortune.
Doc bought half interest in it.
What, that mixture of oil and mud? Well, Doc must be joking you, man, but it's only good for folks who run out of axle grease on the trail.
No, sir. It's going to make us rich. You just go ask Doc Holliday.
Yes, sir, I sure will. Now, look, Mr. Dunn and Mr. Murphy are just as stubborn Irish as you are.
Well...
20 feet of land and an oil puddle just aren't worth shooting over.
All right. You're Doc's friend. I'll let him go through this time.
Thank you, Mr. Durkin. Now, I have a little talk with Doc. When you get to know him as I have, you'll understand him. At least part way.
Dr. Holliday is a brilliant thinker.
Yeah, and a wonderful drinker.
Bring him through, Mr. Dunn. Thanks, Wyatt.
Hey, Rosie! Come on, Rosie! Shot in there, Rosie! Aaron Gabra!
Aaron Gabra. Good day, man.
Durkin and Holliday, chemists. Very good. Dr. Holliday's magic ointment. That's brilliant, boys. All right, put it up right in front. After all, that's what we're selling. Move.
Will it cure anything?
Will it cure anything? I've killed men for less than that.
Well, now, maybe the joke is funny, Doc, so you tell me the point, huh?
Have you ever heard of ringworm and eczema? Amusing?
No, sir.
Do you know the cure for these dermatoses?
No, I don't.
But you are aware of the pioneer spirit that exists in this country. Well, there are two youngsters by the name of Milt and Jenny Durkin. They have it. They homesteaded the grease puddle.
You mean the stuff in these jars is from the grease puddle?
Precisely.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Mr. and Mrs. Durkin almost get themselves into a shooting scrape with Pat Dunn, and all because you tell them there's a fortune in the grease puddle.
A small fortune, yes.
And I suppose it'll cure the itch.
In a sense. There's no sense in tolerating discomfort and pain.
All right, what's the real reason?
That will do so. You presume on a very slight acquaintance.
Oh? Well, I figure I know you as well as anybody does.
You don't even know yourself, Wyatt Earp. As a matter of fact, you... Oh, here are the stock certificates now. Put them on the table, sir. Be with you in a moment, ladies. These are the women I hired yesterday.
You aiming to sell stock in the magic ointment?
Deacon Earp, you're invading my privacy. Good day, sir. All right, ladies, you may go in the back room. I'll show you how to fill the jars.
And this is the worst trick that Doc has pulled yet. At least when he tried to peddle that gold brick, he had a motive. Folks had insulted Miss Kate.
Same reason now.
What?
Miss Holliday tried to join one of the churches, and some of the women gave her a cold shoulder.
Oh, no.
Fact. Then Kate and Doc quarreled, and last night she took off for Kansas City.
Guess I'll have to send for Miss Kate. She's the only one that can handle Doc.
Well, let him peddle his mud. Folks aren't that foolish.
Yeah, well, look, he's got two nice people mixed up in this. As a matter of fact...
Dr. Holliday said I'd probably find you conspiring with the mayor.
Conspiring, is it?
Mrs. Durkin, do you know our mayor? Well, I assure you that Mr. Kelly doesn't conspire. But he does have an official interest in the firm of Durkin and Holliday.
Why?
Well, because you're aiming to sell magic ointment and stock in the concern here in Dodge City.
It's perfectly legitimate. Doctor says we have to put the fence up again, too.
Well, that means trouble.
What you get, you have to fight for, Mr. Earp.
Is Doc going to help you fight?
He most certainly is. And I came here to tell you to stay out of it. You know, you may be a town marshal and a United States deputy marshal, but you can't defend common trespassers on our legal homestead.
Well, Judge Tobin will be back in another hour. The only thing to do is arrest Doc and charge him with a confidence game.
Yeah. Meantime, I'll send a telegram to Miss Kate.
Oh, she's sore at Doc. She won't come back.
Mr. Kelly, she always comes back. Now, I'll go on out there. Maybe I can stop a shooting. And ask the judge to issue a con game warrant, huh?
It'll be a pleasure.
Road closed, no trespassing. Detour.
That's a perfect sign, Milt. And I like the idea of the arrow. It'll show them ignorant mule skinners how to jog around this property.
Well, can't they understand plain English?
The mules can, but not the drivers.
You sure Mr. Earp will agree everything's strictly legal?
There are two serious flaws in Wyatt Earp's character. He knows the law and he respects it.
Well, he can't say the magic ointment won't work. Look at this, Doc.
Doesn't look bad, but you keep dosing it. You think you got it licked and it comes right back. Look yonder.
Pat Dunn sent word that we might have some trouble here. That 45 of yours loaded?
You better stop where you are.
Not yet. They're not on our property.
You yell at my team again, I'll beat your brains out.
He said stop.
Take him.
Doc Holiday! Are they dead?
One is. The other moved a little at the last second.
How is he? Somebody coming.
It's Marshal Earp and the deputy.
Let him in.
Are you sure he can't get us in trouble?
Marshal Earp knows in his big, soft heart that the magic ointment can benefit thousands of so-called human beings. With an itching of the skin, Milt, not the itch of character. Dermatitis of the soul.
You heard bad?
No, sir.
Got a warrant for your arrest.
Those mule skinners were armed and trespassing.
You're charged with peddling a worthless medical remedy and offering stock in a fraudulent business.
But it's good medicine, Mr. Earp. It cured me of a terrible ringworm.
Hold your breath, Milt. I told those ladies not to go selling that magic ointment until the advertising started, but I guess they disobeyed my orders.
They sold 50 jars at least.
Then your warrant is good, Wyatt, but only insofar as the sale of the ointment is concerned. No stock has been sold.
You still got to go to court.
All right. But you, Tobin, and Kelly are going to look like fools. I shall handle my own defense.
Oh, Milt, darling, you all right? Those terrible Milt...
Doc, you come in with me. I'll send a wagon for him.
The last of the American pioneers. Aren't you going to put them in jail?
Mr. Earp, you are persecuting a genius, a saint.
Look, if you want to keep Doc's friendship, don't ever call him names like that.
Mayor Kelly, you may step down. Mayor Kelly's testimony concludes the case for the prosecution. Dr. Holliday, the court will now hear your witnesses.
Only got one. Dr. McCarty.
You may take the stand, Doctor.
I offer Dr. McCarty as a qualified medical witness.
Dr. McCarty is certainly qualified.
Doctor, I hand you a jar of Dr. Holliday's magic ointment. Would you be kind enough to read the label aloud?
A soothing balm recommended for the treatment of ringworm and eczema.
Thank you, sir. Have you made a chemical analysis of the magic ointment?
I have.
And what did you find, sir?
As a petroleum tar mixed with some ordinary loam and about 20% of terra alba by volume.
Doctor, in your opinion, is this medication worthless in the treatment of ringworm and eczema?
No, indeed.
Would you be kind enough to explain this to the court in very simple terms?
Well, petroleum tar or coal tar mixed with fuller's earth is a standard remedy for mild self-limiting dermatosis.
In other words, what Dr. Holliday is selling has some medical merit?
Yes, it has.
I see. Any further questions?
No questions.
You may step down, Doctor.
Quiet! Quiet!
Court will now rule.
Hold it, hold it. I have a brief closing statement to make.
Not necessary. The court will now rule.
The court will not rule.
Quiet! Order!
You're all a bunch of hypocrites. You dragged me into this court to prosecute me for selling a good medical remedy. And you let...
Sit down, Dr. Holliday. Charge is dismissed. You're exonerated.
Why, you can't...
Court's adjourned!
Ladies and gentlemen, Marshal Ugg and Judge Tobin don't want me to make a closing statement. So I'm here to remind you that all the stock in the magic ointment goes on sale at once. This product will sweep the country. Buy stock, get rich.
Oh, you made fools of them. You are a genius.
Thank you, my child. Thank you. I think Wyatt wants to say a few words to me. I'll see you at the store later.
Yes, sir. We're rich, Jenny. We're rich.
Doc, you and the Durkins have proved your point. Why don't you quit while you're ahead?
I promised them a tidy fortune, Wyatt. That's what they're going to get, a tidy fortune.
No, they're going to get themselves into a shooting fight with some very tough muleskinners. It's too bad Miss Kate isn't here.
Don't mention that name.
No?
I gave that woman $40,000 to go away and stay away. What's your price to leave me alone?
Nothing.
You're making a very wise investment, sir. There you are. Thank you. All ready?
I think me and that better have.
I know you. There we are. Just 1 minute now. Official. There you are, sir. Next.
I'll take 100 shares.
100? Well, now, that's a fascinating order. Your name, sir, please.
Donaldson. Mr. Donaldson?
Mr. Donaldson. Fine name. Fine. There we are. Don't be impatient. Stamp of approval. You're much too young to retire in luxury. You're only as old as you feel.
Thank you.
Next. Come. Just a minute, I'm getting behind.
Friend,
show me that 45 there. This one's all right. Which one? This one?
Oh, that's fine.
Anyone else going to have to?
You'll need one more rifle.
More of these.
You going on a hunting trip, Mr. Dunn?
And what's that to you?
Well, sir, besides being the law here in Dodge City, I'm also a United States Deputy Marshal.
Oh, so you changed sides, have you? The other day you told those fool kids to let us go through.
Mr. Dunn, that was for the sake of peace. If you're planning on a big shoot, they're going to have the law and Doc Holliday on their side.
Doc killed one of my boys and shot up another. How much do I owe?
Well, let's see now.
Mr. Dunn, if you go out there with this war party, we're going to have to help Doc.
I ain't scared. Come on, Jim. How much?
Mr. Earp? That'll for you, Mr. Earp. Lady, give me it.
Comes to $220.09.
Here you go.
Ah,
$225. Keep the change. See you at the grease puddle, Wyatt. Too bad.
I had to sell him the stuff, Wyatt. He's a good customer. Besides, he'd have bought the gun somewhere else.
Yeah. Mr. Kelly, you stay put for a half hour or so. They have a job for you.
Your stock, my money. Next. Now, you wait your turn, you see.
I did.
Pat Dunn and his boys are going to run you off that farm.
Oh? We've sold our quota for today, ladies and gentlemen. We're closing. That's all. Oh. That will be all for today. Sorry. Sorry, dear. Come back tomorrow.
What's the matter?
I don't know whether you want to try it or not, Miss Kate. Well, it'd probably take an awful lot of money.
How much?
I don't know.
$35,000, maybe more.
No. Let them fight it out.
Well, you can't bet on all of us coming through. A gunfight like that could
Wait
probably...
a minute. Why did you say all of us?
You see, my deputies and I, we have to help Doc. The law's on his side.
The law's on John's side.
Well, just this once, Miss Kate. See, Mr. and Mrs. Durkin, they bought a section of land that contains the grease puddle.
But would John sell out to Jim Kelly? They don't like each other.
No, that's why I think Doc might do it. Now, sticking the mayor of Dodge City with that grease puddle might just be too much for him to resist.
All right. I'll give you the money. But not for John, mind you.
Well, thank you, Miss Kate.
Get Kelly started.
Yes. Oh, and if I were you, I wouldn't fret too much about Doc. I think he misses you.
Why do you think that?
Well, he hasn't been drinking so much.
I'm glad we gave Ginny the slip. Wouldn't it be handier to fight him outside? I mean, we could get a crossfire on him.
You can fight him outside if you like, son. I'll take that chair by the window.
We mustn't underestimate the enemy, sir.
Just a passel of drunken mule skinners. Sonny, aim carefully and say to yourself, this is for some tormented mule who didn't get his man.
Uh-oh. Just one man and on a dead run.
Shoot him.
But he might be on our side.
Shoot him.
No, he's too close. It's Mayor Kelly. It's Mayor Kelly.
Kelly? He's my meat.
Oh, please, Doctor. Now, he's a close friend of Marshal Earp's, and if he...
He's a pious politician. He'd lick your boots to get a vote. Tell him to go away.
Sure, Doctor. I'll tell him right away.
I want to see Doc Holliday. There you are.
You'll have to excuse us, Mayor Kelly. You see, Dr. Holliday and I were expecting a gunfight, and
I know. Dr. Holliday, I'd like to buy your company. But I'm swallowing my pride. Business is business. Besides, that magic ointment just might make a fair success.
Well, we're not selling.
Just a minute, son. What's your proposition, Mayor?
Well, first we ought to talk over some of the details, and I came prepared to make a substantial offer.
Want to talk to the boys? Whoa! What's worrying you, Murphy? I think we ought to lay back and blast that cabin with our rifles. That Doc's murder at close range, boss.
Well, Doc don't scare me. Go on, go ahead.
All right.
No. You'll have to make it more money.
35,000.
40.
I haven't got that much. Besides, the company isn't worth it.
But, Dr. Holliday, with half of 35,000, Ginny and I could go to California and we
No.
could... But, Doctor...
Oh! Well, reset your saddle.
Mr. Dunn's got too much of a head start.
I'm still betting on Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, well, so am I. He's our only hope. These poor horses are all galloped out, but we gotta go on. Let's go, come on.
Yeah. There's only 3 of them in there. All right, boys, scatter.
$6, 37, and 5 100s. 37.5, and it's robbery.
It's an insult. The deal's off.
Oh, no, you gave your word. I bought him out. You can use the trail and the grease puddle.
All right, boys, start tearing down that barbed wire.
Wait a minute, Wyatt. One thing puzzles me. Where did Kelly get that 37.5?
From your wife?
Katie? Oh, no.
I wired her and she came back.
But that was my money. You dirty double-crossing deacon. You bought me with my own money. And now I got Katie on my hands again. Get off your horse. We'll shoot this out.
All right. Well, however this turns out, Miss Kate still loves you. I sure don't know why, but she does.
You ready?
Yeah.
Swindle with my own money.
Come on, Doc. Go home to Miss Kate.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Wyatt, show me $3. For what? Collect telegram.
Hey, it's from Ned Buntline. Arriving in Dodge City in a few days on vacation. Best personal regards. Yeah, I wonder why he sent a collect.
I don't know. That's not what bothers me, though. I'll never forget that last visit he paid us. Him, Buffalo Bill, and that German prince, remember?
Yeah. We pulled that fake stage hold-up, backfired, and turned out to be a real kidnapping. Yeah, I'll never forget it.
See, Wyatt, Buntline must be in serious trouble to send a telegram collect.
Well, if he is in trouble, I'll do my best to help him out of it. This old Buntline special he gave me has saved my life a couple of times.
Yeah, mine, too.
Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
Well, we made it. Thank you. I thank you, sir, for your courtesy. Phew, it was an arduous trip, my friend. An arduous trip.
Well, you didn't come all the way by horseback, did you?
Oh, no. I picked up a wagon ride from a migrating family and then from a farmer, and the truth is, Wyatt, Ned Buntline is broke.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Buntline.
Well, I've fallen on some evil days.
Well, surely between your writing and that Wild West show you have with Buffalo Bill Cody, it seems that you would have enough.
Well, the Wild West show doesn't start for another 4 months. And as for my writing, my last efforts have been rejected. Rejected.
Well, are there any reasons?
Well, yes, the publisher said my new stories lacked authenticity.
Well, maybe they do.
Yes, well, the same thought occurred to me. That's part of the reason why I'm here, Wyatt, to replenish the well.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to find it awfully quiet here in Dodge, Mr. Buntline. That's my job to keep it that way. Now, what's the other part of your reason?
Well, the other part is that you're the only... I mean, I hate to impose on our
Don't
friend...
worry about it, Mr. Buntline. You go on over to the hotel and check in, get yourself a room. You charge all your meals to me, huh?
Thank you, Wyatt. I'll pay out of the first week of the tour.
No, you won't. No, I tried to repay you for the Buntline special you gave me, and you wouldn't accept it. Now you're going to have to. You know, this is the most accurate gun I've ever used.
I'm glad.
Hello, Mr. Buntline.
Well...
Good to see you.
Ah, it's good to see you, young man. Well, if you will pardon me, Wyatt, I have to go over to the hotel and register. I'll see you later, huh?
We'll have dinner, all right?
Oh, good, good. Splendid. Thank you.
Well?
Mr. Buntline is temporarily broke.
Is that all?
Hal, for a proud little man like Mr. Buntline, that's enough.
Hey, Wyatt. Wyatt, there's a man after me. There's a man after me.
Wait a minute. Who's after you, Mr. Buntline?
He followed me all the way from St. Louis. He's going to kill me. Oh, now, don't do that, because I tell you the man is after, and he's a very dangerous...
Relax now. Now, just tell me the whole story.
Well, I've always been pretty good at cards, you know, and when I found that I needed a few dollars, I took passage on one of the better Mississippi riverboats, and I was doing very well, as a matter of fact, until I ran afoul of this fella.
Oh, this fellow that's following you.
Exactly, the fellow that's... Of course, he's a professional gambler, you know, and, well, as a matter of fact, so am I. And it was very exciting until he started to cheat.
Oh, he cheated?
Yeah, he cheated.
Well, why didn't you expose him?
Oh, he was too clever for that. And before I knew it, my money was all gone, and I was deeply in debt to him.
I'm surprised he didn't throw you in the Mississippi.
Well, I gave him a check for almost $1,000.
And the check was no good?
No good at all.
Well, now, surely, Mr. Buntline, you can't expect me to have sympathy for even a good friend that would write bad checks.
I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm asking for protection.
Marshal, there's a man in the Long Branch who won't check his gun.
Is he drunk?
No, just won't take his gun off.
It's probably maybe the...
Mister, there's a law in this town about checking guns. You're breaking it.
I don't expect to be here long.
Well, why don't you leave now and save some trouble?
I'm not finished with my business here yet.
You're refusing to check your gun or leave town, right?
That's right.
Mister, your business is finished.
Could I talk to you privately, Marshal?
All right. Not with that gun on. Unbuckle it.
It's Wyatt, Mr. Buntline. Oh, just a minute.
Sit down. Now, what's your name?
Would you look at these papers first, Marshal?
Lieutenant, I certainly don't intend to arrest an Army officer on a special assignment. But at the same time, I can't let you walk around town wearing guns, not in civilian clothes.
But if I'm in uniform, it defeats the purpose of my mission. And if I'm unarmed, well, if I meet the man I'm looking for...
He'll be unarmed, too, if he's in this town. You want to tell me who you're looking for?
It's confidential, Marshal.
Well, this is one of my deputies and a close personal friend of mine, Mr. Ned Buntline.
Well, 2 weeks ago, the United States Arsenal in Illinois was broken into and robbed. 100 rifles were taken and a Gatling gun, along with about 20,000 rounds of ammunition.
A Gatling gun, huh? And the Army thinks they're somewhere around here, huh?
Somewhere in the Southwest Apache Territory.
Are you one of General Crook's officers, young man?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, what is your full name?
Charles A. Wharton, First Lieutenant, United States... What are you doing, sir?
You're making some notes. This'll make the most sensational book you ever read.
If one word of this leaks out, Mr. Buntline, I'll personally see to it that you wind up in front of a firing squad.
I beg your pardon.
Lieutenant, I think Mr. Buntline is convinced. Go on.
The guns were thought to have been shipped in cases marked machinery toward Kansas City. We almost intercepted them there, awaiting shipment to the Southwest.
What about this man you're looking for?
Vincent Slade, but he has used other names.
You know him?
No, but I've memorized a description. About 6 feet, 180 pounds, dark hair, dark eyes, sometimes wears a mustache, deep cultured voice, identifying marks and scars, diagonal knife scar on the outside of his right hand.
That's the fellow. That's the fellow that's after me. He's here, the gambler.
Well, I'd be grateful if you'd point him out, sir.
Wait a minute, Lieutenant. Are your orders to bring in Mr. Slade to recover the guns, or both?
Preferably both. However, if Slade is killed or captured, it's doubtful the guns will reach the Apaches. He's the brains.
Well, he fits the description right down to the scar.
If there were just some way that we could be sure.
Well, I think there is. I think Mr. Buntline can help us.
Me?
Mm-hmm. I think the first thing to do is to find out if this man is really looking for you, Mr. Buntline.
Oh, he is. He is.
If he ignores Mr. Buntline, that means he's here for the stolen guns.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose he doesn't ignore me.
Mr. Buntline, I tell you what you better do. You offer to repay him part of the money you owe.
Well, I'd like to, but
Well, I'll lend you the money. Now, let's see, there are 4 of us. I'll put on an extra deputy, then we'll keep a watch around the clock. Mr. Buntline has found our man. Cal, go check his hotel room.
Right.
Lieutenant, you better stay out of sight. Some people might remember you refused to check your gun.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. Well, you remember me, surely? Ned Buntline?
I'm not sure I've had the pleasure, sir.
Well, you must recall our recent joust at the card tables.
Card tables? I believe the last time I did any gambling was several weeks ago on the Mississippi.
That was the very locale. I'm terribly sorry I can't recall your name.
Smith.
Smith. Ah, yes, Mr. Smith. Well, this is a little embarrassing for me. I lost rather heavily to you.
But not too heavily, right, Mr. Buntline?
Oh, I'm afraid I did. As a matter of fact, you've been on my conscience for some time.
I have?
That check I gave you.
Oh, yes, I do recall that check. I lost it the very next evening.
Oh, goodness, I insist on making that check good. You may run into the gambler you lost it to.
I'm not worried about it. Why should you be?
Now, here we are. $100 on account.
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't take it, Mr. Butler.
Oh, now, I insist.
Well, thank you. I really must be going.
Well, will you be around for some time?
Not more than a few days.
Oh?
Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Smith, and thank you for being so understanding. Did you see the scar? He's our man.
Nice work, Mr. Buntline. Well, did you find anything else?
That was all. Apparently, he doesn't even have a gun.
He's probably got his gun on him.
hope he doesn't try to use it. If he does, I'll have to arrest him, and there goes our plan for seizing the rifles right out the window.
I'll take the first shift of watching him.
All right, Hal, thanks. Ted, you relieve him at 4 o'clock. Mr. Buntline, you take over at 8.
Right.
I'll take the next shift, if he's still in town.
And what if he isn't?
Well, then we won't be either. We'll be out after him.
Well, they look like a couple of good horses to me. We just see they're all curried and taken care of. I'll be taking out tomorrow, huh?
He's back in his hotel room.
He's probably waiting for somebody to reach him. Lieutenant, keep an eye on him, huh?
You know, I've been figuring out here how much those guns are worth to him. There's $20,000 for the rifles, and then there's the Gatling gun and the ammunition. And don't forget, the Apache's paying gold.
Yeah. You know, just to make sure he doesn't sneak out on us, we ought to watch his horses. They're all hobbled in Mr. McKay's meadow. The wagon's there, too.
Yeah, Wyatt, that's a good idea.
Hey, Wyatt, let me do that, will you? I haven't been sleeping nights anyway.
All right, Mr. Buntline. Ted, take him out there and show him where the meadow is, huh? You come right back.
Sure thing.
Thank you, Wyatt. I've been itching for action.
Mel. Here we are, Vince. Unhobble the horses and hitch up the team. Get me my saddle.
Well, these men won't be too hard to follow. Hal, Ted, bring the horses.
What about Mr. Buntline?
We can't go looking for him now. If he's fallen asleep, let's hope he stays that way.
He must be out of his mind.
He hasn't even got a gun. We'll stay about 5 minutes behind him until daylight. Then we'll drop back.
Hello, boys. Any coffee inside?
Plenty.
Good. Let's have some before we load up. And once we're past Cimarron, it's easy. We'll cross the panhandle about here. Thanks. In a few days, we'll hit the Pecos River. Then we'll head south.
By night or day?
Day. Nobody will stop a covered wagon. Did you assemble a Gatling gun?
I sure did. And I'm itching to try it out.
We got more cups than we need.
What's the matter?
Keep talking. We got company.
We'll may get a chance to use that Gatling gun in case anybody gets nosy. Now, I want all of you to study this map very carefully.
Well, I got a good idea where they are.
That old prospector shack.
Yeah. We better split up and approach from different directions.
That's the last of the rifles. Good. Let's get the Gatling gun.
Vince, there's 4 of them trailing us.
How far away are they?
Well, not more than 10 minutes.
Hide the wagon over there in those rocks. We'll spot ourselves around the cabin. No one is to fire a shot until we're sure we can get every one of them. Understand?
Alive.
It's Ted and the lieutenant.
The minute they step outside.
Shh. Did you hear something?
Yeah, a rifle being cocked.
I saw something move.
Next time you see something move, shoot.
Oh,
Mr. Butler?
What?
What happened?
Oh, I heard him talking about the route they're going to take. Across the Panhandle and the Cimarron, and then south to the Pecos.
They couldn't have started it. We'd have seen them.
There's one of them.
Wagon.
There goes one! Now, close that door.
Go on, I'm off. Go on. We'll pick you up later.
Oh, no.
What is it?
Get out in your faces, everybody!
Hey, Wyatt, there's a cellar down here.
There's nobody alive in there.
We'll make sure. Burn it down. I'll cover you.
Now's our chance. I think they're reloading. Mr. Buntline, here's where I use your gun.
Well, I'm glad to say I think he'll live.
Wow! Well, now, don't tell me you gentlemen have been up all night.
Hello, Warren.
Good morning, Marshal.
Lieutenant, I thought you forbade Mr. Buntline to write about this.
Well, it certainly is fascinating to read about. Of course, General Crook will have to approve.
There. There you are. Here, Wyatt. There, it begins there. And I defy any publisher to turn this one down.
Well, I never thought I'd hear myself say it, but sometimes it certainly does pay to be dishonest.
I beg your pardon?
I said it pays to be dishonest, or for some people. Well, suppose you hadn't written that bad check on the riverboat. Why, do you realize you probably changed the whole course of history? You put all that in here, of course.
I certainly did not. Don't you remember I told you that that other fella cheated?
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Extra! All about Wyatt Earp and the Cattlemen's Convention.
Boy, over here.
There you are. I'll take all of them.
Gosh, thanks.
Read this on page 1. Marshal Wyatt Earp has been invited to speak to the Cattlemen's Convention at the Opera House. How's that for a trap? If Earp doesn't show up, he's yellow. If he tries to make a speech, he's dead.
Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
The long feud between Texas cattlemen and the frontier Kansas cow towns was a projection of Civil War bitterness. The cattlemen hated Wyatt Earp because he was a Yankee from Illinois and because he was trying to tame Dodge City, the cowboy capital. And of all the schemes to get rid of Marshal Earp, the one cooked up by Lon Ashby was the most subtle and deadly.
Talk up, Gertie. What's the pitch?
Where's the money?
Explain a little first.
Well, you and Doc like Wyatt Earp, don't you? Lon Ashby and some of the cattlemen are digging his grave.
What do you mean?
Like I said, it ought to be worth 100, what I know.
All right. Half in advance. The other half if it looks honest.
They're planning to kill Earp.
How? Where?
Paid guns. dressed to look like ranchers.
Where?
During the convention, they figure Earp will visit the Opera House, just to see nobody's packing a gun, you know. They get him inside, see? Then they cut loose. But with 100 men inside, who can pick out the killers? Pretty crooked poker, isn't it?
Who told you?
Oh, gentleman friend of mine. I've got to respect his confidence.
All right. Here's the other 50. Your place clears 1,000 a night when good spenders are in town. Why do you take this chance for 100?
Well, let's just say I worship Mr. Earp from afar.
Thanks, Gertie.
A mess.
I don't like it, Wyatt. Cheer up, pal. Maybe it'll be a quiet convention.
Yeah, they're acting too quiet.
Yeah.
We went through 4 saloons and the hotel bar. You never got cussed one time. You know, if it's all right with you, I'll make a tour below the line. Maybe somebody will tip me off.
No.
Well, why not, Wyatt?
Because, Hal, these aren't cowhands. They each own spreads up to 10,000 head apiece. They all started from scratch after the war, and I don't want any cattleman to think that I'm a Yankee so-and-so that's envious of his success.
Well, they'll still hate you.
Maybe. But I can't do much about that except to show them that I don't hate them.
And if you won't talk to Wyatt, then it's up to me.
Katie, the deacon's got more sense than to walk into a convention hall half filled with cattlemen. I know I wouldn't do it.
Oh, yes, you would. If you thought somebody was aiming a gun at you. But Wyatt isn't like you. He enjoys life.
It's an odd taste.
And he likes and trusts people.
I've spoken to him rather sharply about that.
You are in a bad mood. Well, maybe Wyatt will listen to me. And believe me.
No. He might believe you, Katie. But he couldn't believe that Texans could be so sneaky. You send him a note, Katie. I'll do my best to disillusion Mr. Earp. I want the deacon to come to me. I'd sure like to know who's responsible for this Opera House ambush. Quite a test of courage. Imagine walking in there to spot a killer as he draws.
John, are you going to tell Wyatt? Or are you going to encourage him to throw his life away for what you men call bravery?
I'll tell him what Gertie said. The rest is up to him.
If anything happens to Wyatt, I'll leave you. Forever.
Katie, I couldn't buy my freedom with another man's life. Go send that note.
I want you men to understand the whole setup. You'll get only one chance, and I don't pay off for bungling. Now, there are just 4 ways that Earp can poke his nose in here. Alan, you sit back there and watch the main door. Curly, you sit over here on the side and watch the side entrance. Spence, Regan, you sit down here in front and watch the 2 side entrances to the stage. Now, remember, only a few of the delegates know about this. You'll leave your horses out in the alley. I'm counting on the surprise and general confusion. And no matter which one drops Earp, I expect the other 3 to stand off his deputies. I want you all out of town in 5 minutes.
I don't see how it can miss, Lon.
It better not miss. If it does, you'll be fighting Earp, Masterson, and his deputies all the way to Texas. Now, let's take a look at this floor.
That's Katie's story. And the convention opens tonight.
It's quite a temptation.
To do what?
To walk in there like they expect.
Don't be a fool. You wouldn't even get a fair shot.
No. Probably hit some poor cattleman, didn't know anything about it. Well, you thank Miss Kate for the tip.
Now, wait a minute. If you'd hold off a bit, I'll go in with you if I'm feeling a mite better.
Oh, I thought you were a Southerner, sir.
I am, sir. From Valdosta, Georgia. But there are a few Texans I don't like.
Well, I heard that, but I never did hear why.
I'll tell you why.
They had a general by the name of Hood who went rampaging up into Tennessee and let Sherman take Atlanta. There was some who bragged that if Hood had been in Lee's place, we'd have won the war. I've killed a few who argued that way. Wyatt, wait till tomorrow, will you? Imagine ambushing a man in a theater. Every real Texan will pay us head bounty on those scoundrels.
Will you let me handle this, huh?
You going in there?
No, sir.
Not scared to go in there?
My common sense tells me it'd be just like you said, the fool's play.
The idea fascinates me.
Well, you get it out of your head. You lie back and rest, and I'll let you know how the sensible plan works out. Wait a minute.
Earp's been tipped off. Think you can take him out here?
Too many in the way. We'll try to sneak in by the side door.
All right.
Gentlemen, check your guns.
Why, sure. We came to this convention to talk about the hoof and mouth disease. You got it up?
Al, you...
Halt! Lift him, fast. Take him!
Billy, get back there and watch those other men. This is Allen, Curly. Who are these other two?
This is a gunslinger by the name of Pete Spence. I never saw him before.
Doc McCarty will have to patch him up. Hold it, mister. Why don't you go along with your friends?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Marshal Earp, this is Lon Ashby, vice president of our association.
I don't care who he is.
Are you trying to accuse me of rigging?
You go hire some more guns.
Oh, you didn't.
You've got the wrong man.
Marshal, you ought to apologize. Mr. Ashby.
Shut up! Guns. I do no apologizing. You rig a smarter deal next time.
The marshal mistook me for someone else.
I'm going to tell Mayor Kelly about this.
Bill, give us a hand. Take him over the docks. Let's go.
My knee.
Quiet. You didn't go inside, did you?
Oh, they jumped us right out here. Stupidest stunt I ever saw.
Who rigged it?
Ron Ashby, I think.
I know Ashby. It doesn't sound like him.
Well, I might be mistaken.
He's a pretty smart man. Something must have gone wrong. What did you do?
Well, we were frisking all the delegates for the guns at the door.
That's what went wrong.
You ought to be in bed, Doc.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think you've heard the end of this Ashby situation.
Try that again.
Wyatt, how would you like to endanger your immortal soul by making a small bet? This idea is too good for Ashby to quit on.
Well, I'll risk betting you $1.
And your life? The next time they'll hide those guns in there. And they'll actually pressure you into going in after them.
You must be a mite drunk.
No, I'm not drunk, Wyatt, but I must say that the scheme fascinated me ever since Katie first told me about it. It shows imagination. It's a perfect trap. If Ashby handles it right the next time.
Yeah, well, there's one thing you forget. You know, I don't have to walk into that opera house.
You'll have to, just wait.
Come on, I'll walk you back to the hotel. Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Have you seen the Globe?
No, sir.
Well, take a look at the front page.
Cattlemen invite Earp to address convention. Lon Ashby pleads for better understanding. Action follows gunfight at Opera House.
Well?
Why don't they just have me stand out in Front Street, put an apple on my head, and no guns?
You think it's a trap?
Mr. Kelly, 4 men cut loose at my deputies and me in front of the theater. Now, what do you think would happen if they lured us inside?
Hang it all. You realize what this does to us? This makes the cattlemen heroes. Big-hearted, generous, forgiving. They invite you to speak to them.
Sure. Some gunslinger takes careful aim in the audience. Mr. Kelly, I'd be an idiot to go in there.
Ashby's outsmarted us.
Let him crow. This time I don't want to be brave.
Wyatt, the man from the Globe is here. I told him to wait outside. You were busy with the mayor. He wants an interview.
All right, I'll see him.
Well, I'm going. I'd lose my temper.
Come in, sir.
Marshal Earp? I'm Clinton Collins of the Globe, assistant city editor.
Well, Globe's getting to be quite a paper. Sit down, sir.
Thank you.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
No, thank you.
Now, Mr. Collins, what can I do for you?
Well, I suppose you read our story about the convention. Are you going to make a speech to the cattlemen?
No, Mr. Collins, I'm not.
Well, why is that, sir?
Well, to be frank about it, I think it'd be a waste of time. You see, those fellas know more about ranching and cattle than I do.
But Mr. Ashby said... I was given to understand that this was to be sort of a peace meeting between you and the cattlemen.
There's nothing to make peace about.
Well, I thought there'd been rather strained relations between the marshal's office and the ranchers.
Well, when they get too drunk or carry guns north of the line while we arrest them, but, well, that's nothing personal. We arrest anybody who breaks the law.
Well, don't you think your refusal is a snub to the Cattlemen's Association?
No, sir, I don't. I have the greatest admiration and respect for cowhands and their employers, and you can quote me as saying that. Oh, here's a pencil.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir. Marshal Earp.
Yes, sir?
Well, last night there was a shooting affray in which you and your deputies wounded 4 men. Would that have anything to do with your decision not to appear before the convention?
No, Mr. Collins, you just tell your readers that I have nothing to say to the cattlemen that they don't already know.
Thanks, Marshal.
Not at all. Always glad to be of help.
John, now what's the matter?
That slicker Ashby invited Wyatt to address the convention.
Oh. Well, don't let it get you all upset. You had a bad night. They'll never fool Wyatt with that trick.
Take that stuff out of here. I want my regular breakfast.
Now, John, you drank a pint of whiskey before you finally went to sleep.
Get it out of here. There's a fresh bottle on the closet shelf.
I still don't see why you're all upset. Wyatt'll simply tell him that he's too busy to be making speeches.
And what'll them imitation Texans say about Wyatt? They'll say that he let them run it over him. That's what they'll say.
Now, John, you stay in bed.
Get me my bottle.
I will not.
All right, then I'll get it myself.
Let Ashby brag. What's the difference?
What's the difference? The difference is Wyatt Earp never backed out of a fight in his life, and neither have I.
You think it's brave to walk into a trap. Well, let me tell you, it's a lot braver to stay out of a trap.
Oh, trap, trap, trap. Yap, yap, yap.
You want to bet?
Bet on what?
$1,000 even money that Wyatt turns that invitation down.
Where'd you get $1,000?
Gambling at the Alhambra. Here, cover it. In cash.
What kind of a husband do you take me for? Taking my wife for a sucker bet. Where's my gun?
Now, John, you're too weak to hold a gun.
Oh, you most likely put it in the drawer as usual.
This isn't your fight. Why are you horning in?
Well, unless I can get Ashby to withdraw that invitation, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just make him do it. I'll make him withdraw it in the Globe, in the public.
Why? I just finished offering you a bet that Wyatt won't even show up at that place.
Kitty, I know Wyatt much better than you do. If I don't call off this Ashby, Wyatt will walk in there with a gun.
Wait a minute. Here's your tie.
Thank you.
Oh, good morning, Judge. Morning. Go check the freight shipment.
Have you talked to Wyatt about this?
He says he won't go along with the play.
That's what he told a reporter for the Globe. I've just come from there. Mr. Lawson's agreed to hold up the statement.
Wyatt says they'll gun him right on the platform.
I just talked to Rance Turner and Tom Reeves and John Willoughby. They got real hostile when I questioned the motives of the cattlemen.
Wyatt thinks Lon Ashby rigged it.
What if he's wrong?
It's a tough corner, Judge.
The committee's asked me to appear with Wyatt and introduce him. Now, it doesn't seem logical that they'd be planning an assassination, does it?
Well,
I don't like to ask Wyatt to go against his better judgment, but on the other hand, we can't insult the town's best customers, can we?
not only that, if Wyatt don't show, word'll go around he's scared. We got the cowboys in pretty good order right now. But if they get the idea that...
If there's any trouble, I'll be right there alongside him.
True enough, but a crack shot could get him and not touch you.
Just doesn't seem like Wyatt. You suppose the job is breaking his nerve?
I do not. I think he's scared of risking gunplay in a crowded hall.
Well, I don't agree that there is much risk, and I think you ought to ask him to appear.
Well, that'd be an order. I can't do that.
Oh. I suppose he'd have the same viewpoint if I asked him.
Now, you better hide all 5 guns on the floor just in case we need them, then slip out the back way. That ought to do it. Let's go.
Ashby. You carrying a gun?
Why, no, Doc. I heard you weren't feeling too well.
Listen.
Oh, I'm Lon Ashby. Don't you remember me? Fort Worth, San Antonio.
I remember. Let's go.
You're joking, Doc. We were always friendly.
No. It's your joke, Lon. You invited Wyatt Earp to make a speech to that convention.
Oh, that. I was only teasing Earp.
You're a liar.
All right. I'll withdraw the invitation. You come along to the Globe with me, and I'll explain the whole business in print.
Wait a minute. Now, what are you going to explain in print?
Doc thought our invitation might embarrass you, so I agreed to go to the Globe and tell them the whole matter was a joke. You've a loyal friend in Doc.
Don't believe him, Wyatt. He's just
It's
trying...
my trouble. Thank you just the same. Now, Mr. Ashby, I told the Globe reporter that I wouldn't be coming to your meeting. But I've changed my mind.
Good. What time may we expect you, sir?
Anytime you say.
How about 2:15? I'll schedule your speech first. Oh, what will your subject matter be, Marshal Earp?
I think I'll talk about some illegitimate cattlemen I've known.
Very good. That should wake them up. See you at 2:15.
I spring the trap, and you said it again. I thought you enjoyed living.
Doc, you're under arrest. $25 fine at the jail. Come on.
You're a fool. In an hour or so, you'll be a dead fool.
Look, I had it all settled. I was willing to let them brag that they ran it over me, but I don't hide behind you or anybody else. Threatening Ashby with a gun. I suppose if I hadn't come along, you'd have marched him right over to the Globe office, huh? Now, what do you take me for?
A stiff-necked idiot.
You go on back to the hotel and go to bed where you belong. Now, what's funny?
My intuition. I told you last night that Ashby would pressure us into this.
Not us. Me. I owe you $1. I'll pay you later.
I'll take it out of this one.
All right.
You know, he'll have men there to blast us. You know that, don't you?
Maybe not. Maybe it's a bluff.
You see, you do want to live, don't you? I don't care. Te mortuus salutamus Caesaram.
Doc, you stay out of this. I'm impounding your gun. You go on to bed. You look beat.
How do you feel?
Scared.
What? No heroic speech before they cut you down?
Look, will you get out of here?
You know, Wyatt, you're not so brave. It's no imagination. So long, Wyatt.
I don't know nothing more, Mrs. Howard.
Holiday.
What fun you don't. Where's John? And where's Wyatt? Talk!
Mr. Earp went to the Opera House.
He fell for their invitation.
Mine Ashby suckered him into making a speech.
Did John go with him? Brave men. A couple of stupid brats.
Thank you, gentlemen of the Cattlemen's Convention. This afternoon, we have invited Marshal Wyatt Earp to speak to us. We've extended this invitation to the Marshal as a gesture of goodwill, because we feel there should be no more misunderstanding between us and Marshal Earp. The association is greatly honored that the Marshal has consented to appear here this afternoon. But before turning the meeting over to him, I should like to remind you that we have many things on the docket today. Oh, my good old friend, Dr. John H. Holliday.
What's he doing?
Well, as I was...
Go ahead, Lon.
Well, as I was saying...
Anybody who moves gets it.
Now, most of you are honest men. Grab anybody with a gun. Sit down, Katie.
Now you listen to me. The whole caboodle of you are cowards. Wyatt came here because he was afraid of being called afraid. My husband came here because he wanted to slink out of life. And don't let me hear any bragging from the rest of you. The ones that didn't know this was a bushwhacking party didn't have the nerve to kick Lon Ashby out on general principles. Oh, you make me sick. All of you.
Oh, wait. I gotta have a drink. Medicine.
Oh, no. You go on home to Miss Kate.
Oh, no. You come with me.
All right. This is really going to take courage.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে। তুমি যদি দিতে না পারো তোমার বাবাকে কল দাও। তোমার যত জমি জিরাত বাড়িতে যা যা আছে এগুলো বেচা হইলেও তোমরা আমাদের টাকা পাই পাই করে শোধ করবা।
একটা ব্যাপার কি খেয়াল করছো? শহরে কিন্তু দুইটা রূপ, রাতের এক রূপ, দিনের আর এক।
বেঁধেছি ঘর হৃদয়ের পর, গাঢ় সবুজ ওই গহীন বনে।
আরে ব্রো, সবসময় চিল থাকতে হবে, কিচ্ছু মাথায় নেওয়া যাবে না।
ভালোবাসা হচ্ছে একজন আরেকজনের উপর ভরসা করে, একজন আরেকজনের হাতের উপর হাত রেখে এই জীবনটা কাটিয়ে দেয়। কিছু মানুষ এই রাত জেগে থাকে আর টাকার বিনিময়ে সুখ খোঁজে।
বসুন।
এখন তো সিরিয়াস হওয়া উচিত, তাই না? আমি তো কোথাও যাচ্ছি না পার্টি করতে। তুমি কেন যাচ্ছ? কেন বন্ধ করতে পারতেছো না বলো তো? কার যে কোথায় সুখ সেটা তার প্রিয় মানুষটাও কখনো জানতে পারে।
পাশাপাশি তবু যাচ্ছি বিপরীতে, কাছাকাছি তবু যাচ্ছি বহু দূরে।
হাই, ইউ লুক গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
vệ này. 3 cảnh vệ rồi, 4 cảnh vệ, cảnh vệ 2 luôn. Mình biết tưởng ra cái gì á. Có cảnh vệ à? Ui, bài này đánh as cảnh vệ nhờ. Hóa cung xanh à? Được phết. As cảnh vệ. Nó thì lướt này. As cảnh vệ rồi. Đánh chung bài búa tranh. Cảnh vệ as cảnh vệ thì sẽ là phần đâu rồi? What the hell? Catlin đâu? Đây. Đây. Thôi ai sao mình nhớ mà, kệ đi. Cứ cho cảnh vệ vào đã. Bùi gỡ, tìm bùi gỡ. Rồi, vừa đủ. Vừa đẹp. Cung xanh này. Vô cực rồi. Cung xanh vô cực với cả cuồng đao à? Dấu có cuồng đao, xít qua. Chắc là chim quá rồi. Chắc thế. 82 máu à? Trốn nhỉ? Sẽ một chút trốn đấy. Mình sẽ lái cái này trước. Ok. Tốc độ cao đét. Ok được rồi. Cảnh vậy à? Có nhà đánh sư danh hóa này nó để át à? Chưa ai cái quả át à? Cái đánh lắc này cũng không phải thôi, không ai át thì lụ. Lụm Nissan luôn mà có gì này. Xin ra chơi. Nắp đổ xin ra tạm đi. Là thằng ra tỷ đấu sĩ này, mình mà đánh thì nhầm, trở thành đấu sĩ tiếp và 5 tỷ ấy. Tỷ đấu sĩ ạ, quỷ đéo chịu được. Mà anh đã stop rồi, có thể không? Anh nhầm ui tí nó xóa, tí thầy nhót. Thầy nhót này mà mình tính tự tin và tự tin bình.
ভালোবাসা সুন্দর, ভালোবাসাও সুন্দর। মানুষ নিজের অজান্তেই ভালোবেসে ফেলে।
আমারও মনে হয় কি জানেন, আপনার মতো জানাশোনা কাউকে না আমার বিয়ে করা উচিত।
এটা কি উপলক্ষে?
ম্যাডাম ফুলটা গ্রহণ করুন, তারপরে বলতেছি।
ভোটার আইডি কার্ডে যার স্বাক্ষরের জায়গায় টিপসই দেয় এখানে কেউ ডাক্তার।
এই দুইজনের মধ্যে যে আগে ম্যাডামের মন জয় করতে পারবে ম্যাডাম তার।
একদিন না দেখলে তোমায় বন্ধু আন্ধার লাগে সব, তোমার এই প্রেমে এমনই টান।
রোগীদের তো ডক্টরের কাছে আসলে ব্যথা কমে যায়, আপনি তো উল্টো হলো কেন? আপনি কি উল্টা?
তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, যেও না বন্ধু আমার ভুলিয়া ভুলিয়া।
আমার মনে হয় আমার সমস্যা কপালে, ম্যাডাম আমার কপালে নেই, আমার কপালে আছে দাগ।
5.5x tốc độ của binh. Binh không thầy ơi. Đó mày củ sẵn rồi. Gì vậy thầy? Này 125 à? 200 rồi. Cộng gì đây? Tạm mới nâng cấp tất cả nâng cấp cho một lần. Bình. Rồi, xoay bài tự động không? Tôi lấy bạc rồi anh lấy xoay bài tự động này. $180 à? Vách. Không được á. Vách. Được, lấy còn. Như đi quát này 215 nắp à? 25 à? 25. 35 không? Được cộng 10 này, 30 rồi, thừa 30. 10 này. 229 ạ. Đó thì mà thừa 30. Không mua à? Đánh này gì luôn. Thần tài này. Thần tài lên, chờ nhỉ. Thần tài lên. Thần tài đến. Bay. 120 à? Lần một lần. Lần một thì bớt. Cái gì đấy? Máy lỗ à? Máy lỗ sao? Nổ máy. Đéo vào đây. Không được rét à? Tính như thầy. Đặt tiền nó đã xuống à? Chợ Tết. Perfect. Good landing rồi à? 150 à? Anh có thể chỉnh cho nó phải good landing mấy lượt. Rồi. Chồng thì nó những gì nó xuống. Này á. Vì nó bị lệch chạy sang bên kia một tí. Có không? Good landing. Đéo kìa, tôi nói. Áo choàng bạc, độc dược sĩ. Được lấy mất chất tôi phục. Có sức hành vác, cái điều lính. Áo choàng bạc này. Xong đâu? Bình. Thần tài ngay.
দরকার পড়লে একটা রিকশাওয়ালাকে বিয়ে করবো, তারপর তোকে বিয়ে করতে।
তুমি যদি মরো যে আমি তোমাকেই বিয়ে করব।
দেখো দেখো বিয়ে এত সোজা
আমার 5টা কন্ডিশন।
কয়টা?
5টা।
আমি জেডি সাফায়েত রমরাজন। স্যার এটা তো ভোটার আইডি কার্ড স্যার।
বাড়িতেই করবেন নাকি হোটেলে?
না না, আপনি যেমনটা ভাবছেন বিষয়টা তা না। ভাই আপনি তো করবেন।
তোমাকে দিয়ে হবে না, আমি জানতাম। শুধু শুধু সময় নষ্ট করো না।
ভাই আপনি তো অনন্ত দলিল না যে অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করে আপনার কাজ।
জিমি
কি হচ্ছে?
আচ্ছা
আঙ্গের একদম বইরা দিমু। যাচ্ছে সব বাইক কর।
শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে।
ভাই যে বয়সে মানুষ গার্লফ্রেন্ডের কামড় খায়, সে বয়সে আপনি কুত্তার কামড় খেয়ে হাসপাতালে ভর্তি হয়েছেন।
Dạ. Anh bốc lửa được giờ anh hay vậy, anh hay như điên mà chịu thua mất. Cung xanh à? Đây máu. Đây máu. Đây. Không ra thì buồn lắm rồi. Buồn lắm em ơi. Biết trách ơi. Đâu lên được rồi. Ôi, 18 mẫu 2 sao nữa. Thiếu tận 68 tiền cơ. Mới có 53 tiền. Dạ đủ. Vay nữa không thầy? Vay như hack rồi. Vay khác thì hack đâu. Vay app refine được mà. Asma chi nhất lava dragon. Cái cục lava phế mà. Thầy khỏe hơn. Thầy bữa nay đánh oan của nó còn chết cơ. Thằng thì top 1. Bạn cao top 1 vậy. Thắng top 1 này. Nếu sao thắng được thằng top 1 rồi. Phải thắng không vậy? Bắn nha. Nhanh ghét. Thắng đi. Chưa thắng rồi, gần thắng. Khiếp, phải bắn toàn để chiêu bắn được mà. Đéo có đam. What the hell, 5 phép. Chiều rồi. Toàn 5 phép ạ. Ra gì à? Ra sẽ khó lắp bù làm mau đấy. Cầu nguyện đi. Thằng cũng không may nghỉ mà. Nhớ hôm nay chắc quan rồi. Là quan cũng không vậy. Mẹ thằng yên rồi. Mày máu sống không vậy? Sống phải ra ria đi. Đéo ra ria thua đấy. Mày đánh thằng rừng đâu. Đánh thằng sĩ vậy. Thằng sĩ của tao vậy. Hay rồi. Xếp mấy nữa là hay. Đấy ơi, mày. Nếu được rồi, không hay. Không thua. Không thắng.
আপনি কিন্তু দেখতে যথেষ্ট সুন্দরী একজন মানুষ। দেখতে বেশ রোমান্টিক। যেন শেক্সপিয়ারের নাটকের কোনো নায়িকার মতো। ভেবেছিলাম, কিন্তু আপনি তো পুরোটাই মর্মান্তিক। যে কোনো মানুষ আপনাকে দেখে মর্মাহত হতে পারে।
আমার হালকা হতে 1 মাস সময় লেগেছে।
আপনার 1 মাস সময় লাগে? আমার হালকা হতে তো 1 মিনিট লাগে।
আমার কাছে মনে হয় জীবনসঙ্গী এমন হওয়া উচিত যার সাথে আপনি প্রতিটা মুহূর্ত উপভোগ করতে পারবেন, সারাক্ষণ খুনসুটিতে মেতে থাকতে পারবেন এবং তার মনে এমনভাবে বসবাস করবেন যে আপনার দিকে সে একটাবার তাকালেই বলে দিতে পারবে যে তার বেঁচে থাকার কারণই আপনি।
পথে চলতে চলতে, কথা বলতে বলতে, কখন যেন হলে আমার।
জানি গল্পে গল্পে মিশে অল্পে অল্পে আমিও হয়ে গেছি তোমার।
ছোট ছোট ভুল ফুটে হলো ফুল যে তোমাকে পেলাম।
গুটি গুটি পায়ে স্বপ্নের নাই আমি ভেসে গেলাম।
আপনি কি মনে করেছেন একজন মানুষ আমার জীবন থেকে চলে গিয়েছে এবং আপনি সেই সুযোগটা কাজে লাগিয়ে আপনার ফিলিংস গুলো আমার কাছে এক্সপ্রেস করবেন আর আমি সেটা হ্যাপিলি অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিব? এই হচ্ছে আপনার বন্ধুত্বের নমুনা?
রোদের পাখি তোর শহরে আমার মনের স্বপ্ন ঘিরে ওরে পাখি ওরে সারাক্ষণ তোর শহরে বৃষ্টি হলে ভিজে আমার মন
Rồi như vậy. Ngon mà mình đi uống nước. Mà mình đi uống nước. Chưa? Hôm tới mà đấy, hôm tới mà Cương bảo đấy, bảo mà anh em để cho em đi uống nước, có anh ấy không thì không biết. Nhưng mà không có anh Cường. Nhưng mà không có anh Cường. Anh ấy không có anh Cường. Chuồn bố, chuồn. Còn đi quân sự, khoảng 8 về. Anh đóng tiền đâu mà nó làm. Nó còn chơi báo cơ, nó còn chơi báo anh làm cơ, chuyển tiền nó cơ. Rồi xem lậu đi, mai xem tiếp. Tôi đi ngủ đi, mai xem tiếp, mai lại xem đến 4 giờ sáng. Đấy. Mai xem đến 2 giờ sáng. Mày thích bảo tai ngủ sớm không? Cái thằng Khôi thức đêm nhiều nên đéo tăng cân nhỉ chun này. Đéo tăng cân tự nhiên được. Thôi coi 58 cân. FPD à? Chọn Tuyên Quang Am phim mà. Tuyên Quang. Mày gọi ông mày gọi ông bạn từ chiều mà sau giờ ông mới vào. Gọi từ chiều mà. Tròn bố. Trời quá. Cay hả? Theo hiểu. Mày tốt rồi. Đi mà gì bao nhiêu rồi? 32 tuổi. Anh còn 9 phút nữa rồi anh sắp stop rồi. Tối anh em không gì không rẻ. Cái thằng kia tự nhiên rảnh mà quay xong bắt xong bảo người ta cũng kêu web mặt cho ở đâu ra vậy? Chung bố à? Nó không phải là sếp của mình hả Vũ? Vũ rồi. Dạ thích cần ha. Dạ rồi. Dạ. Xin kia xong ngủ muộn ra thì làm chi? Xin kia xong là 2 giờ mới ngủ làm chi? Vũ à? Biết tại sao mà giết Flick như thế không? Bởi vì tao không muốn cho mày thức khuya đấy. Bao nhiêu à? Lốt mấy phút đi tắm đi ngủ ấy. Sao? 19 anh trường quê 61 tuổi. 61 tuổi à? Thì được rồi. Tao không bao nhiêu thành quen mà. Trừ khi quen một mình thì thôi gì gì. Đọc đây là chuyện em rồi mà. đọc cái lời chuyện lên rồi mà. Ai biết đâu, ai biết đâu. Auto hack cho tải. Phải chưa? Nhưng mà sao cao đây? Không cao màn xuống à? Cái gì? Không chịu được rồi, xin gì? Thua rồi, em Nam thua rồi, anh còn 5 phút. 5 phút gì anh? What? Người vứt cũng chỉ vì một con chó thôi mà đi giết người. Nè. À video tiếp rồi. Rồi vừa đã có 2 phút nữa xong giờ lại phải quay 1 tiếng nữa. Bảo sao hôm nay tao thấy thông báo thanh toán mà. Hôm nay tao thấy thông báo của mẹ tao là hãy thanh toán Netflix các kiểu mà thằng bạn tao đéo nhắn gì luôn à. Bận rồi em. Nhưng mà anh chỉ có tiền của Momo thôi. Anh chỉ có tiền cho Momo thôi. Có đâu ông giá chua đâu, mà em giờ đéo chua mà. Chưa em. Cho anh nó banh luôn rồi. Cho anh banh luôn rồi. Ông ra không chuyển tiền. Không, anh rất là nhắn tin một tí bao nhiêu để chuyển tiền. Hôm qua chứ. Hôm qua nhắn tin nhưng mà đéo chuyển tiền. Trốn nhau. Cái gì ấy? Làm gì ấy? Làm gì ấy? Đâu? Làm béo đâu? Làm béo ở ngoài cùng kia. Đã làm gì đâu? Ngoài cái thằng mà đỏ ấy. Ngoài cái thằng đỏ chót kìa. Mà lộ ai đây? Mà vợ đánh liên minh. Còn vợ đánh liên. Mày khoa mà, vợ đánh liên minh mà. Dám quay liên minh. Trôn mà. Rồi 175 tuổi đúng không? Đủ rồi, từ vòng nữa 24 lap. Anh Vũ ngầu gọi. Anh Vũ sửa nhanh ấy. 24 rồi. Bây giờ anh rồi tiếp 7 bet 23 bet. Sao vậy? Nhọt. Anh quay nhiều rồi, chả top 1. Là anh top 1 chưa nào? Anh vay 796 lần. À, sao anh? Cái gì cơ, chỉnh sửa cái gì? Có phải anh đâu, Hoàng Tuấn. Nó đang đi với người yêu người em. Vừa anh về là đang vừa anh về anh set story là đang 5 phút trước. Đang chơi đùa với nhau ở quán cà phê trong khi bọn mình ở nhà quay vít như một con lợn. Phải chưa? Đúng. Chưa, lúc ấy chưa có mấy có hiếu khôi. À đâu, hiếu khôi quá, không có hiếu khôi. Lúc ấy thằng Nam chưa vào, lúc có hiếu khôi. Trôn mà. Anh em nói rằng mới tránh rồi. Nó cứ trôn đi dấu hiểu. Bảo gì, nó cứ hỏi cái gì, Em nào cái gì đấy? Thằng Nam, lúc ấy có thằng Nam, lúc ấy có thằng Nam kia đấy. Có. Không nhớ là nó đi lúc ấy nó đi chưa, nhưng mà lúc đấy là lúc nói về cái vậy đấy là có thằng Nam kia nó có vào không ra mà.